Female High School Athlete of the Week presented by Distinct Inc. It is Bella Bouddhara of Andover basketball. She had a really good week last week, 24 points and a blowout win over Newton. Bella has been really good this year as a sophomore for Andover, and they're off to an impressive start after a third-place finish last year. Bella, kind of talk about the season so far and what's been going well for you guys.
Yeah, the season has been going really well. We're just playing together as a team, which is what works well for us. Sometimes the games are not as tough, so we have to really get after each other in practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for you, what's been clicking for you early on this season? What's, kind of been your bread and butter so far this season as a sophomore?
Yeah, I think just playing more with confidence. Last year I played with confidence but a little bit more timid because I was young and I just wanted to get a feel for things. But I think now is trying to step up as a leader but also be there for my team.
Mm-hmm. And the team this year off to a 5-0 start. Talking to Coach Alexander, you guys haven't had as many challenging games to start this season. Obviously the opener against Derby, a big game for you guys, getting a win in overtime there. But for you individually, what's the season been like? How have you kind of prepared yourself for this season, and what's going well for the team this year?
Yeah, definitely work in the off season. Just trying to get in the gym, get as many shots up as you can. I think as a team, working well, just getting after each other. I think something that I really like about our team is we are so competitive with each other. In practice, we'll get after each other, get onto each other. But after, we're all good. We're like, hey, you want to go get Freddy's or something?
Yeah. And, now as a sophomore, what kind of leadership role are you taking onto the team? Kind of some responsibility on, like you were talking about, a young team. What's kind of your role on the team this year as a sophomore?
Definitely trying to step up and be a leader, but also listen to some of the older people, learn from their experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's kind of your relationship like with Coach Alexander, who's been doing this for a while and has had some success? Obviously, last year a third-place finish for you guys. What is the relationship like with you and Coach Alexander, and honestly anybody else on the coaching staff, really?
Yeah. Our team is so close. I love every single one of the coaches, and we have 2 new coaches as well, and honestly, they just fit right in. Everybody's so personable.
Yeah. And what really has been the motivating factor coming into this year? How have you guys stayed hungry after a third-place finish last season?
Mm-hmm. Definitely, last year, we were kind of expecting it. We weren't expecting to go in and win everything, but with league and everything, every game was kind of just not as tough. Mm-hmm. So when we got to state, it was kind of eye-opening,
yeah.
I think, and definitely learning from last year. We wanted that ring so bad, so this year that's basically our motivation.
Yeah, and then obviously we're coming out of the break here. You guys picked up a big win over Newton. And, after that, we kind of have the 3 or 4 day stretch of snow days, no school, stuff like that. How much of a challenge for you has it been to just kind of get back into the groove of things in the second half of the season?
Yeah. I think the snow days are definitely kind of dragging. Everybody just wants to keep getting in, playing together. The snow days, we were all so kept up in our house. So the first practice back, which was yesterday, we were all just jumping on each other, trying to just mess around, and then we kind of have to lock back in for games.
Yeah, and you guys got a big challenge coming up this weekend against Wichita Heights, one of the top teams in 6A. What are you guys looking to do in that matchup?
Yeah, definitely keep our energy up, work the ball inside, and just keep our butts down on defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you really enjoy the most about playing basketball? What's the one thing you enjoy the most about playing?
Yeah, I think playing, scoring, all that stuff's fun. But what's really overlooked is the teammates you make, the relationships you build, all of that. That's probably my favorite thing about basketball.
Yeah. For you, when did you really know you were really good at basketball? I mean, obviously you've been really good this year as a sophomore, averaging 20 a game. When did things really click for you, where you're maybe I could be pretty decent at the high school level and then maybe into college?
Yeah, definitely when we were younger. So Sam, who's in there, she's one of my peers. Basically, her dad used to coach us on this old team called the Sugar Racers. We would always go head to head and play each other, and then we started playing up against higher level teams, and we were still just blowing everybody out, and the competitiveness was always there. And I think for me, it was always getting after even the older kids and doing well.
Yeah. When did you kind of get into basketball? What kind of got you into basketball, and really, when did you start playing, and how did you get into it?
When I was younger, I just tried everything out, really. I played softball, I played golf, volleyball, all of it. And so, I don't know, then we just threw myself on a club team with some of my friends in there.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And, looking back at your improvements from last year to this year, where do you feel like you've grown the most? Big leap from freshman to sophomore year for you personally, but where do you feel like you've grown the most?
Yeah. Stats may not show it, but I think definitely getting the ball inside more. Mm-hmm. I know I can get a paint touch, which is what I'm trying to get. Even I shoot quite a few threes, but I'm trying to get myself to be more downhill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's kind of been the learning curve like for you, kind of stepping into a bigger role in the team this year? Brooke Walker was a big part of this team last year. For you, kind of taking in that kind of role, what's the biggest learning curve been like for you?
Yeah, I tried to learn a lot from her. Definitely, even when my confidence gets down, to still lift up my team. Because like if I get myself down, then it's gonna affect my teammates as well. So
Yeah.
I have to keep my confidence high.
Yeah. What was that relationship like with you and Brooke? Was she kind of a mentor for you last year as a senior?
Definitely, like she would take me like from home to here all the time. Like she just gave me rides. So we always would talk about basketball or just other things, and I just learned so much from her.
Yeah, yeah. For you, kind of talk about this year's team. What do you guys feel like you guys are really good at? What do you guys feel like you have to grow at going into this latter half of the season?
Practice, definitely, we get after it, but sometimes we kind of slack off. And I think we just have to stay on it defensively, keep staying in shape, things like that.
Yeah. And this year, do you have any goals set out for you individually or as a team?
Yeah, definitely as a team, I want to try to limit our turnovers, like starting with myself, but also with others, and be like keep people's confidence high, but also kind of be like, hey, try to be in the gap, things like that.
Yeah. What has this team improved upon from last season, do you feel like?
Definitely swinging the ball. Last year, sometimes we would get it caught in someone's hand, and we would get in like a slump. Definitely in the state game that we lost. Don't want to talk about that too much, but we went down like, I don't know. We went on like an 0-17 run. It was terrible in the third quarter. And I think swinging the ball, working it inside, things like that is much better.
Does the new shot clock help that at all? What's the adjustment been like there?
Yeah, I love the new shot clock, which may be controversial, but it's definitely much better because, like, first off, that defensively, it like steps us up to try to get them to get that buzzer going off, but also just like playing fast. It doesn't really affect us though.
Yeah, I also love the shot clock. It's a great addition. For you, when you watch games, whether that be college, high school, professional, who's your favorite player to watch?
Brooke Walker. But also, well, Elena hasn't played yet, but Jada Williams, definitely. She's a family friend, so I also like have looked up to her for a really long time. And Georgia Amore.
For you, what's an interesting fact about yourself? Do you have any like interesting hobbies, interesting like likes and dislikes, any like foods you kind of like? What's an interesting fact about you?
Interesting fact. I have 4 siblings and 3 brothers, so like they were very rowdy with me. So I like when I play like physical out there, sometimes it's a surprise, but it's also just because like I have 4 brothers. Like,
Are you the youngest or the oldest?
I'm the second youngest.
Second youngest, so you've kind of had to grow into it a little bit. Well, Bella, congratulations on a great season so far. I'm sure we've got plenty more interviews with you coming up over the next couple of years. Congratulations, you're a female high school athlete of the week.
Thank you so much.